Ramona. Welcome again to our Ramona View. We're back. You remember we've got Annette here, Melinda, and Kathy. I'm Liza. Last month we talked about a lot of things. Earthquake preparedness was one of them, and I just want to mention that mistake with my big suitcase. I thought, oh, you know, the trash can that all the fire departments recommend that you put, you know, all your cans and water and safety supplies and all that. I thought it'd be better to put it in a big suitcase, so I did. And that helped me get it into the car, and then I had to
way too heavy,
way too heavy, and then I had to get it out of the car myself. And my back, I was like crippled for a couple of days, I think, because of that. So anyway, don't do that. I'll show you a picture of the bag and all that went in it, but it was way too heavy, and it's not a good idea. Kathy had a great idea. She said that their family uses separate backpacks for each family member, where they load the food and the change of clothing and the medical supplies in each individual backpack. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so I think that's probably a much better bet. Don't do the big. So I hope everybody had a good Easter weekend.
Very nice.
Yeah. Everybody have fun. I went to Carlsbad and spent it with my husband's ex-wife and kids, and we spent all our holidays together, and it was fantastic. These are from Joanna. She made these. They're like lemon.
They look
I
good.
love lemon bars.
Lemon bars, and they're delicious.
I think it was our first show that we talked about Charlie Sheen, and that, you know, that's, and this week I've been realizing there's a new, what I like to call, media clown in town, and it is the Donald. He's taken the place of Charlie Sheen in the media.
Is the media
it
clown?
Is just,
Wow.
Donald Trump.
I know. What is up with that?
It's crazy, and I have all these thoughts about it. Why is the media giving him so much face time? Because we all love a good train wreck, just like Charlie Sheen, right?
Yeah.
And he is a train wreck every time he opens his mouth.
Well, I'm glad you think that. I wasn't sure if
You're afraid I was going to like
if
him?
that's the way you were going to be going with it.
Well,
yeah.
you know what? Here's the thing. I don't know if he can possibly be a serious candidate, because he's only talked about the birther issue. The Obama, you know, whether Obama's a citizen. We haven't heard him talk about anything important.
Which shocked me. You know, when Obama first got elected, he was kind of like, he's an intelligent guy. You know, we got to wait and see what he does. And now he's pulling this out, and it just it doesn't seem authentic to me at all. It seems like he's...
The Donald is only about the Donald.
Himself.
Right.
Yeah, he's very narcissistic kind of guy.
Very narcissistic. Yeah. And in fact, it's funny, his aide, a guy named Michael Cohen, I was reading about him. He was an Obama supporter, his aide now, Michael Cohen, and a Democrat, and now he's just flip-flopped completely to agree with Trump on everything, you know. They call him, the media calls him the pit bull, and this is, I had to write down this quote from him, from Donald's aide. "If you do something wrong that Trump doesn't like, I'm going to come at you, grab you by the neck, not let you go until I'm finished."
Nice.
I mean, this is someone, we want these people to be running for, it's just...
No, you know what we want? We want men out of office, and we want women to take over. Because there wouldn't be these wars, there wouldn't be all this conflict, there would be order in the world, it would be much better. Sit with my husband, who's a wonderful man, good-hearted man. You know, he is not a macho type. You know, he's great. But whenever he's home and we're watching programs together, they're always violent, and that's the case with most men. Men and violence seem to go together. So my new stance is that men just need to be taken out of power, and women need to run the world, because that's the only way we'll have peace and harmony. Honestly.
But we'd be crying all the time.
No, not if we were. We're only crying because we're
so
and then we
control.
have that week.
I know.
Yikes.
I don't know.
Yeah, I do. I'm sure of it. But getting there is a whole other issue.
Yeah. I don't think, well, he may be serious, but if he's not a serious contender, which I can't imagine that he is, are we wasting all this time, you know, on him rather than on somebody that
I think he's testing the waters, and he's seeing if America is going to support his style, which is you know, a little outrageous, but America does like outrageous behavior.
Jesse Ventura just came to mind. Remember when he was running?
Yeah. He's out there too, you know.
He is,
totally
that's
different
true.
direction.
Yeah,
but
yeah. There was a clip this morning on, I don't watch The Apprentice. Sorry, Donald. I'm sure you're watching us right now, by the way. There was a clip last night when he asked all his little people on the show, okay, of all of you, who would not vote for me? And of course no one was stupid enough to raise their hand, and he said, because I would have fired, anyone that raised their hand I would have fired because you'd be stupid not to vote for me. So yeah, he's got that character that he thinks is going to...
ego.
Yeah, the huge ego.
Yeah.
But it makes the whole thing kind of undignified, if you ask me.
You know, America does like a good show.
Absolutely, absolutely. And here I am, I'm right on board with it. I'm totally on board with the show. Yeah, yeah.
So what do you guys think about Kate and William?
They're so pretty.
Yeah.
I know.
She's a keeper.
She is a keeper. She's beautiful, and
She was a wild thing too. Have
Yeah,
you seen
she
those
was,
photos?
yes.
I love that because
Yes.
she was normal.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay,
exactly.
it wasn't like this picked perfect woman. You know?
Right, right. Which is why I think this came up this morning too. Diana would have loved her.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
Diana
Diana
would
would
have
love her.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And she's got great style. She's very, very lovely, and they seem to be very connected. They seem
do.
to
I
really
hope
be
so.
in love. And
Yeah.
how wonderful is that? To
Yes, I
get
hope
that
so.
in the royal couple.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what's going on with Lindsay Lohan? Is she back again?
I can't believe that.
Wasted again?
Well, I can't
mean,
believe
it's all
That's
over
an
the
addict. Yeah.
news.
Right.
I mean, I thought
Yeah,
she
he
was
was
doing
terrible.
better.
Uh-huh.
What is it with? I mean, that's sad.
That is really sad.
I feel
Something
really bad
switched.
for her. I've always liked her. When I see a redhead go down like this,
I know. It's personal,
upsets
isn't
me.
it?
Yeah,
yeah.
it makes me
Yeah.
sad.
I know.
It is so sad. I hope she gets help.
Yeah.
I know. So what's up with Charlie Sheen? Is he gonna start again?
I don't know what is up with
I
him.
haven't heard anything,
Like
but
I-
he was now apologizing to.
Oh, was he?
Yes.
To the whatever the Lori, the guy,
Yeah.
producer.
Apologizing. I think he needs a job.
Well,
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
his other plan didn't work out.
Did you see that?
Oh my
Was
goodness.
he, what was he supposed to be, a comedian or something?
Right.
And they booed him off the stage.
He right.
probably thought he was going to be elected for president. He thought
Probably.
he was,
Oh my
his
goodness.
momentum, and he was on his way to the top.
Well, yeah, that plan did not work out at all.
No.
Where was he? In
Now he's
Chicago, I
apologizing.
think, and he was on
Is that where he
stage. And,
stood?
yeah, and he started insulting things about Chicago, and
Oh.
they were like, "Get out of here!"
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it just goes to show, those comedians, they work hard. It's not as easy
Doesn't
as
just happen,
going up
right.
there and
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
telling jokes and insults. You
Yeah.
got to have some timing. You've got to have some relevance.
Yes, right. Relevance is key. What else is up?
Well, I'm going to bring up the subject of education, which is what I had wanted to originally talk about, the whole tenure issue going on in schools these days, and the last hired, first fired. I don't think there's really that much to talk about. I don't think it's a good idea to keep that policy of last hired, first fired, although I don't think it should be totally abolished, because you have to protect the senior members that have a higher salary, because they'll be slashed just for their higher salary, and you can't have that.
True.
No.
So I think it definitely needs to be reevaluated and changed, but
Because it needs to be more than just.
it needs to be more than
Having
just the
been-
newest one in is the
Right.
first one
Yeah.
out. That's not
Right.
right. It's not best for everyone.
Exactly.
They work just as hard as everybody to get their credentials. So
Right.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they may be a better teacher than somebody that's been there longer.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Right.
we all know some teachers connect with the classroom.
Right.
and a lot of the new methods too. Some
Right.
some of these old teachers are used to the old school
Right.
stuff.
Right.
And I was talking to my sister-in-law, and she's a teacher, and she was telling me how a lot of the older generation teachers that have been there, they're very they're constantly criticizing their way or their method of teaching, and she was just upset because she says, they're very disrespectful because they look at us like young,
Right.
What do you
immature,
know?
what do you know?
Right, right.
And there's all these different methods of teaching now that you try to present them, and they look at you like you're not going to change my way.
They're not
Yeah.
open to it at all.
No,
Right.
If
no.
you think about it, I'm sorry, it was a lot easier in elementary school back in the days. Now they're making it so much harder for these
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
We bring homework home, we have to ask the teacher, okay, I don't understand.
Yeah,
I have to
exactly,
go.
exactly,
I have to
yeah.
go online
Lot
with
of
Hannah's homework all the time, looking up how to do these things.
Right.
This math that she's doing in 5th grade.
Mhm.
I have to look it up online.
Absolutely.
Nobody helped
The
me.
educational system, in my opinion, needs a whole new renovation. Factory type teaching, just like our food system is. It's factory. The education system is too flat. It needs to have more personalized, individual attention. You need to have life lessons taught. You need to have more
hands-on,
creative.
like basically going out, like if you're gonna
Like tech,
or
technical.
even vet. If
technical
you want to be a vet,
business,
you basically
business
go.
teaching.
Right.
You need to learn how business
that,
functions.
Because if you're not interested in something, you're not going to absorb it. You're not going to. Why not let them go with something that they are truly interested in,
right,
rather than something that they have
Kind
no
of like
interest
animals,
in whatsoever?
like FFA, or you know how they have those programs
Yes.
for kids that want to have an
Be
animal.
farmers
Instead,
and, right.
go and hands-on work with the animals like part of a class.
Right.
yeah.
Well, they do offer that in some
They do.
schools.
Yeah, well, there are some offshoot schools, and that's what I'm looking for. My daughter's in 5th grade. She's going to be going to middle school soon, and I'd like her to have more than what's available in the regular format of teaching these days. I like creative teaching. I want the arts to be just as valuable as mathematics and language. I want everything to be taught and have it be of equal value.
So I want to talk about education, and I want to talk about creativity. My contention is that creativity now is as important in education as literacy, and we should treat it with the same status. Thank you.
There's a book called The Element by Ken Robinson, and I read that a couple years ago, and it kind of just changed my whole way of thinking about education, and I want to follow that path a little bit more with my daughter's education, and I'm personally looking for ways to bring that to Ramona. I want more than just factory schools in Ramona. I want more individualized, creative type of learning happening here, and so my objective for the next year or two is to find a way to bring that to Ramona. So if you have any leads or suggestions or knowledge in that area, it's beginning that process. So I'd love some advice and leads to follow. So comment and send me some messages.
The problem is that the current system of education was designed and conceived and structured for a different age. I believe we have a system of education that is modelled on the interests of industrialism and in the image of it. I'll give you a couple of examples. Schools are still pretty much organised on factory lines, ringing bells, separate facilities, specialised into separate subjects. We still educate children by batches. We put them through the system by age group. Why do we do that? Why is there this assumption that the most important thing kids have in common is how old they are? It's like the most important thing about them is their date of manufacture. What do you mean? Well, I know kids who are much better than other kids at the same age in different disciplines, or at different times of the day, or better in smaller groups than in large groups, or sometimes they want to be on their own. If you're interested in the model of learning, you don't start from this production line mentality. It's essentially about conformity, and increasingly it's about that as you look at the growth of standardized testing and standardized curricula. And it's about standardization. I believe we've got to go in the exact opposite direction. That's what I mean about changing the paradigm.
I have to say, I somewhat disagree with some of what you're saying. I think I look at my kids, 5th grade and 1st grade, and they're learning a lot, and they're doing well. And so with that, I'm happy with the system. Obviously, it's working for me, it's working for my children. I think it's really the bulk of it has to be mainstream education. And then for the special education that you're looking for, that the artsy or and that's not even a good way of putting it, it's going to have to be those few small schools out there. I mean, we can't revamp the public system to be something like that. I don't think
You
we can
have
do
to
that.
have
sort of a basic curriculum
standards,
standards,
right.
Yeah.
for everybody to follow. And then if you want something over and above that, you as a parent are going to have to look for that for your child.
Kind of like music.
Oh my
Music.
gosh.
Yeah, it's a very complicated issue. I don't know how for me it's not good enough right now. It's
It really
really
upsets me the way the arts are just the first thing to go in every curriculum.
it's not just all about mathematics and language and that. I think that there's a lot more to it, and that the school should teach more life lessons than just the basic curriculum. I don't know how to do that in a way that's workable in the system.
Right.
But I want to start exploring that, and I'm sure there's a better way. than
I
what
doubt
they're
that'll
doing.
ever happen in the
I
public school
agree.
system.
I
I
agree.
doubt, but there are schools who, concentrate more on arts and
Right.
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So you could bring that type of school to Ramona, or maybe there are alternative schools here. Maybe see if one of those would be into incorporating more art.
Well,
Right.
it's like Spanish. Okay, I would love for them to have that as a second language.
Right.
To me, that's important.
It's necessary.
Yeah, it's very
But,
necessary.
you know,
Yeah.
Language should be
Yes,
taught
definitely.
all through elementary school. The Spanish or some
or
language
whatever
should be
language
taught
is
all
next to
through
your,
elementary school.
whatever
Right.
your order
Yes.
is.
Most
If it's
exposed
French
to.
or
Right.
whatever.
Because life and business, it's world markets.
To me,
now.
that's
It's
global.
Oh, I
not-
wish I could
yeah,
speak
it's global.
Spanish.
Right.
So it's
I really
important that
do.
the school
It would
incorporates
really
that from the
open
beginning.
up
I think that's a big one. Yeah.
opportunities.
That to me is like and they have it in Poway. Some of the schools have Spanish as
Right,
one of
right.
the classes.
And
Why
you know what,
we're
they
so
just-
close?
Yeah,
Right.
they just cut that out too. One of my girlfriend that lives in Scripps, they had it at the elementary school that her kids go to, Jerebeck, and
they don't do
cut
it
that.
anymore?
They had to cut that
Yeah.
funding, of course.
Why?
I know.
mean,
I think that's
to me
really
that's
important. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
for it's like music. They should have music because that's education. They should have a different language
Yeah.
because it's making them think. It's
Yeah.
making them now learn a different world.
But see, the monies
Very
aren't being
important.
applied
Right.
so that we can have that.
Right.
So we as parents have to,
Yeah.
after school,
Exactly. Exactly.
But do we
go
have
in our
that
pocket
here?
Right, right.
and pull out that money
Right.
for language lessons
music.
or
And,
music
and
or
it's useful in life, and in class, geometry or whatever the subject is. They should also teach and have the kids practice it the way it would be practiced in life. That's how it should be taught. It should be the basics should be taught, but they should also teach and show
Hands-on.
and educate hands-on how it's practiced in life, why it's valuable to you, and it needs to be deeper
any
than
fund issue. I think it's
the way
money.
it's being
Because
taught is not
definitely.
practical.
I know we used to dissect and that sort of thing
Right.
in
I know.
4th and 5th grade. Do they do that anymore?
You know what? I don't think so.
Nikos
because-
hasn't experienced
Yeah,
that in school.
right.
My
but we
boys
did.
never
we
did
did
that.
We
I
would
think
get our
in
little
high school.
kids.
Yeah.
I think
exactly.
it's in high school
Right.
now.
Is
Make it
it?
like
Yeah,
mandatory, like
now.
part of
Right.
Definitely.
instead of
Definitely.
PE or recess.
Yeah.
You know, granted, PE recess is very important because these
I think
kids.
it's
Yeah.
just as important as,
Yes.
as the rest of it.
Yeah.
Yes,
They've got to get
especially
their energy
now.
out so they can focus. And some kids,
Teaches
that's the
social
only exercise
skills.
they get.
Exactly.
Teaches social skills
Right.
as well.
Absolutely.
And
That's
team,
important.
working as a team.
Okay, this is another thing that I don't like. Their lunches. What is up with their lunches?
Ew.
Is that
Oh, the
gross?
bad food.
Ew.
I sat.
Yeah.
I sat and had
It's
lunch
more-
with them.
it's
I was
more
like,
than gross.
Yeah, exactly.
I might as well just buy all this frozen food and
Ew,
just pop it
it's-
in the
yeah.
microwave.
Right.
And
And then let it sit there a couple hours.
And then serve it.
toss it
Yeah.
in front of
In
them.
a plastic bag.
Did anybody hear about the Chicago school? It was in Chicago, I'm pretty sure, that said they were going to ban any lunches from home. You could only get to school, and they said it was for health reasons. And then they showed
health
a picture-
reasons. Are
and
you
they
kidding
showed
me?
a picture of the school lunch, and
And
I
it's
was
Oh,
like,
that's so.
That's
I
not
don't
healthy.
think so.
Oh,
That
that's
does not look very
crazy.
healthy.
Wow.
Yeah,
No,
can
no,
you imagine
no.
that? It's just
So
that they wanted
wrong.
everyone to have to buy their lunches or something. I don't know.
Oh,
You know,
that's
I
crazy.
remember our lunches. I mean, they were like so
The
healthy.
kitchen in high
Lettuce and
school,
tomato.
They
Right.
were cooking. They were cooking.
Yes.
Now
Yeah.
they're just, plastic.
Right. It
not
was a
microwave.
cafeteria.
Yes,
They were in
exactly,
there.
exactly.
with the
I,
food
you know,
serving
I
you.
worked,
Yeah,
I
that's
worked
right.
in the cafeteria.
Yeah, that's right.
I worked in the cafeteria, and I used to love it because I used to make money. And I was, you know, this
that's
was in
funny.
middle school, and I was so broke. I mean, my parents didn't have money, so I was like, I'll work,
Oh, that's
you know,
great.
for cash,
Yeah.
and I loved it. And I used to get
And that's
free
a
food
great
and
life
everything.
lesson. That's a good
Right.
life lesson.
Yeah.
Right.
The kids could actually work in the cafeteria. I remember being young and seeing the little kids giving the milk out. Now,
Right.
why not? How that's part of education too, is working.
Absolutely. it
Yeah,
is.
sure.
They had all
Yeah.
these little programs. I mean,
Right.
Well, everything's been cut.
Yeah.
okay, what are you getting it in big bulks and it's costing you 50 cents every meal, so you're selling it to us for $2?
Right.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. The only thing that's actually decent is their little salad bar.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
But come on.
And that's very limited.
My daughter said she used to like the salad bar, but now it's always milk tea.
I was shocked when I saw the school lunches.
Yeah.
I really
they're
was.
Pretty bad. Yeah.
Well, I was shocked because I was so excited to eat school lunch at the
So was
cafeteria because I love my school lunches.
Me too,
So did
right.
I. And I went like, by the third time I was like, I'll bring my lunch next time.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And she brings her lunch now too because I don't want her eating that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if you guys have any suggestions in how to research the whole educational system and find a better way, please let us know, because I'm really interested in that subject. I think it needs to improve.
After school programs. Wow, there would be so many people
It's
interested.
us.
Definitely.
It's
Right.
the individual that can make it happen. It's not going to happen unless the parents and the people, you know, want it to get better and take steps to make it get better. We can't wait for the government and the administrations to make it better. We've got to take actions and try and improve our own educational system.
I agree. Totally agree.
We've got the Ramona Rodeo coming up
Oh,
and parade.
yeah, I've never, so they haven't had the parade for a while, right?
Sorry, I'm
That's my understanding. I don't think there wasn't a parade last year, was there? For the rodeo? I don't think so.
I always go to the rodeo fashion show, which is on the 19th, and it is so awesome.
Right.
It's such a show, I tell you. It seems like it's an LA show because it's such.
Yeah, that was a fun
Lisa's
one.
been practicing
really
for
fun
that.
show.
Oh, that's right.
Lisa's
she
in
does
it again.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Oh, that's funny.
She loves
But
it.
so the parade, I don't remember. Are you in the parade this year with your company?
Yes, the company is. They're gonna have. It's gonna be, an old traditional type,
Right.
parade with the floats.
Are you going to be on the float?
Yes.
Oh.
And the theme
what's
is
your
for
float?
the parade is We the People. So and they're gonna honor the servicemen and that sort of thing. We're still working on our float.
Yeah, so you don't know what it's
I'm on
gonna
the
look like
committee,
yet.
and we're
Decorating
putting
it
things
and-
together. So
Cool.
Well, so look for Melinda on the float. Pole ball banker.
we don't get to throw any candy or anything. There's there's no handouts or anything like that at the parade. Not sure exactly why, but
so
they're
you're
not
just
allowing
going to
that.
wave?
Yep.
Are your kids going to get to go up with you, or is it just
Yes.
going to be the people
Yeah.
working, the whole family?
Yep.
That's good.
Yep.
Well, that sounds like fun. I'll definitely cheer you on.
So what
Yeah.
day is that?
That's on the 21st, May 21st.
I was thinking maybe we should put a Ramona View float together.
Yeah, exactly.
You know the girls
next
would love
year.
it. You know, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, that would be a lot.
It is.
How much does it cost? Do you know to be in the parade?
I didn't deal with that part. I know you have to have your entry in this week, I believe. So, but I'm not sure.
Maybe
how much it
next
costs.
year.
Yeah.
If we're still doing this next year, maybe next year.
Any summer camps or anything that you know of?
You know what? I had one and I just threw it out. But it's in Julian. I just realized it's in Julian. They
Yeah,
do hot kayaking. They do. I mean,
Oh my goodness.
I was looking at it because Kyla,
Yeah, yeah.
but I didn't like it in Julian.
Yeah.
But they
it's
do
too
have
bad.
some in San Diego, but you have to take them all the way over there. That's the part I don't
Right.
like.
That's hard, yeah.
Right.
Poway has a lot of cool
That
ones
family
too.
magazine that comes out, it's a
Yeah,
free magazine. They should be having
They will, yeah.
stuff
Exactly.
come out
That's a
in it
good
as
idea.
well.
I know, what is it, Boys and Girls Camp? That's where my boys used to go all the time, but the only thing they didn't like about it was it's high school students taking care of them. And he said,
Right.
Mom, sometimes they're so mean.
Yep.
It's really just people that get jobs.
Right.
They're hard. They have no patience for brats.
Yeah.
Right. They're not trained
Yeah,
Yeah.
but really
to deal
it's-
with children and the issues that
and you
come
get a
with.
lot of kids in 6th, 7th grade or 6th grade, I shouldn't say 7th,
Right.
in 5th, 4th, 5th, 6th, and that's an ugly stage. And
Right.
I'm saying they either
Testing all the
fight,
That would be
boundaries.
tough.
Yeah.
and I know my boys hate. Yeah, and they had all the ping pong, and I mean the room looked like a
Sounds like
rec
fun.
center.
A fun place to be.
Girl, I checked everything out, and I thought it was great. But I thought, well, you're gonna have to learn to be social. They would do like one day they would go and do like a basketball team. Then they went swimming. They went to Legoland. They went to, or not Legoland, no, SeaWorld at the time. They did the beach. They did a bunch of fun
Right.
stuff, horseback riding.
Right.
Again, you know, they still hated it because
Right.
the teachers or not teachers,
I mean,
or
leaders,
the counselors,
Yeah.
the
the
counselors,
counselors, that's
camp
what they call them.
counselors.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah,
very
I've
nice.
experienced that too.
Well, let us
with
know
me.
if you have any great summer camps that you
Also,
recommend,
please.
that
Well,
you
you
had
know,
good experience with.
one-
I'm looking for an artistic type of
Of course.
place, you know, with music and acting and art.
In Ramona, the Phelas have a really good tennis, golf,
Right.
and swim camp.
I think
that the
we're gonna
kids
do
love.
That one's
Yeah.
that one's nice, but
That's a really
kinda
good one
didn't
for
wanna
Ramona.
golf. I was like, come
Right.
on, try it.
Yeah,
Give it a
just for
shot.
fun. Yeah.
And you know they lend you the rackets, they lend you
Yeah,
everything.
you don't
so
need
have-
anything. Exactly.
I loved camp when I was a kid. Loved
I did too.
I never went to camp. We always had somebody at home taking care of us.
I had both. Had both,
Yeah.
yeah. And I liked going off with the other kids
I
and
did
doing
too.
things.
That's why I discovered
That sounds so
horses.
fun,
You know,
yeah.
because I didn't have them at home until I
Yeah.
went to camp. I discovered horses and all kinds of things. Discovered things that I would have not discovered before.
I know we've got to have horseback riding camps here.
We
There's
do.
gotta
We
be.
do. So you guys just turned this magazine over, and I wanted to show you these nail things. Because oh my gosh, I got them and I used them, and they're the best.
Oh, really?
What is it?
Yeah,
Oh
they're
my sticker?
Gosh,
They're
I
these-
need that.
They're these sticker nails, and they have these fantastic. They have these fantastic different styles and stuff, and they go on really easy, and they stay on forever. I paint my nails with regular nail polish, and they chip within 2 days tops. 2 days is the tops.
It's pretty cool.
And these
So they're
lasted for
stickers,
2
they're
weeks.
not fake nails.
No,
They're just
No,
stickers
they're
you
put
put
on
on
your
stickers
nail.
that you put on your
Oh.
own nail, and they go on really easy.
So then what? You just kind of file the tip of
Yeah,
it
you
to
just
make it
you
form to
stick
your
it
nail?
on, you pull it off, and it kind of folds down over, and then you just file it for a few
Okay.
seconds, and it's done, and it stays on
Ooh, I
forever.
could have done that for the wedding.
love
Yeah, I
that.
really recommend it. It was a great experience.
There's also a new product. It's called shellac. And when I was down getting my hair trimmed, the salon down there does it. I've been looking for one up here that does it. It's a nail polish that stays on for 14 days or longer
How does that happen?
without chipping.
Wow.
Yeah, now that's
So-
what this does too, but I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Have you used it?
I'm not yet. I'm looking for a place up here because I know I won't go down the hill every
Right,
2
right.
weeks to get it done.
Right.
But
But
you take
is it
these
something
off.
you do yourself or something?
no, they
sticker?
do it.
Oh, they
Can you
do.
take
They do
off
it,
if you want
and
to?
they do a
I would
layer,
think-
and then they you stick it under the
Right, right,
the light,
right.
and then they do another layer. You stick it under the light, but it lasts
sure
for
it's not
14.
gel?
Yeah.
Positive, it's
Okay,
not
because
gel.
you know that damages. I used to
Right.
have gels
Well,
and it thrashed.
Oh,
my
it tears your nails up.
Yeah, just like acrylics
This goes
do
on
to
your
gel.
real nail,
Yeah.
and they don't have to file to get
Can you get it off yourself? Can you?
You can.
Can you take it off with nail polish remover? Or
Yes,
what?
you can.
Okay.
How about this? How do you take this?
this? You take it off with nail polish remover.
Oh, okay.
I was able to just
Work
chip
it
it
off.
off when I wanted to, but
Yeah.
or some of them I use nail polish remover. But also the trick is that after you put it on, you just put a coat of clear, and then it stays on
Those are neat.
forever.
Oh,
By
okay,
that.
yeah,
And it
this
was
is all-
easy to get off. And
Where
it
did you
didn't
get 'em?
damage my nail at all. I got them at Kmart.
Yay.
I went to get more, and they were almost out of them all, and I don't know if they're getting them again because it didn't look like they
More
were
was-
replenishing them. So I hope they keep getting them because
Yeah.
I really like it. Well, we got anything else?
Nope.
Are we good?
I think so.
Thanks for tuning in, Ramona. Come back, see us at the Ramona View, first Sunday of every month. Bye.
Bye.